Hey guys, it's Nina with Paint the Kitchen Red. Starting with this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to be filming an introduction for the recipe. I'm just going to show you the ingredients and show you how to make the recipe. This is going to allow me to get more videos out a lot faster and get more recipes to you. So hopefully you won't mind not seeing me. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new format. So today's recipe is Instant Pot beef curry. This recipe comes from Kerala, which is where my family comes from in India, and it's also known as beef stew. Contrary to what you might think, we do eat beef in India because the Christian and Muslim communities eat beef, and Kerala has a pretty big Christian community, which is where this recipe originates from. So here are the ingredients for Instant Pot beef stew or beef curry. 2 cups of beef broth or chicken broth, 2 pounds of beef stew meat cut into 1-inch cubes. You can also buy the pre-cut beef stew meat if you want to. 1.5 cups of carrots that are peeled, cut into 1-inch pieces, or you can use baby carrots, which is what I do. 1 tablespoon of finely chopped ginger, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of salt or to taste, 1.5 cups of potatoes cut into 1-inch cubes, 1 cup of chopped onions, 5 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of A1 steak sauce. Now this is not an Indian ingredient. It's something that I add to this recipe because I learned it from my mother-in-law who uses it for beef dishes. It's an optional ingredient. If you have it, give it a try. 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro, 1 can of coconut milk, which is 14 ounces. I like to use the regular fat and not light coconut milk because it just tastes so much better with the regular fat. And the brands that I like are Roy D and Chowco. And if you can find those, the mix of curry tastes so much better. I'll put links to it in the notes. Jalapeno or serrano peppers, chopped. I use 1 whole jalapeno. You can use more or less based on your spice tolerance. And finally, you need 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil for searing the meat. Heat up the Instant Pot, and once it's hot, add the oil to the inner pot. Once the oil is hot, add the beef to the inner pot. And you can do this in batches because when the beef gets overcrowded, it can start steaming rather than searing. In this case, just for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to go ahead and sear all the beef together, but you may want to do it in a couple of batches. Once the beef is nicely browned, remove it and transfer it to a bowl, and we'll add it back in a little later. Add in the onions, garlic, ginger, jalapenos, and we're going to stir everything up. And if you find that it's sticking to the bottom or browning too fast, deglaze with a couple of tablespoons of broth or water. And I mentioned this in other videos. Deglazing involves taking water or broth or any clear liquid and adding it to the brown bits, scraping them up and incorporating the brown bits into the recipe. At this point, you can press cancel. All the spices will cook on the residual heat. Add some salt, pepper, turmeric, A1 steak sauce, if you're planning on using it, and stir everything together for about 30 seconds or so, and the spices will become fragrant and get incorporated into the onion mixture. Now add the broth. Stir everything together. Add the beef back in and make sure the beef is submerged in the broth. Close the lid and make sure the steam release is in the sealing position. Pressure cook for 15 minutes. And the pressure will build and you'll see the float valve go into the up position. That's how you know the Instant Pot is sealed. And then it'll count down to 0. And now you can do a quick release of pressure. Once all the steam has been released and the float valve goes down, you can open the lid. Watch out for the steam. And now you're going to add the potatoes, the carrots, stir everything up, and try and get all the vegetables submerged in the liquid. Now let's close the lid. If you have trouble closing the lid because there's too much steam built up, then go ahead and put the steam release handle in the venting position, close the lid, and then put it back into sealing. Pressure cook for 3 minutes. The steam will once again build up and the float valve will come up. Once the pressure cooking is done, release the steam using the quick release method. And once the float valve goes down, open the lid. Add the coconut milk, stir everything together, and turn on saute mode and allow the curry to simmer until the curry thickens. Now add the cilantro and stir everything together and transfer to a serving bowl. You can serve it with naan or rice, or my husband's favorite way to eat it is with crusty French bread. He just likes to dip the bread in the gravy and eat it like a stew or soup. And so you have many options on how to serve this curry. Well, I hope you enjoy the recipe, and let me know in the comments if you get to try it and what you think of it. Thanks for watching.